Thank you. Good morning. My political advocacy began when I was jailed for standing up against government tyranny during the COVID pandemic. Texans stood with me and sent me to Austin to defend their liberties. We need to start holding Big Pharma accountable. A bill I authored, HB 3441, would help families circumvent the federal law that shields vaccine manufacturers from legal liability by saying that if these companies advertise their products in the Lone Star State, they must assume responsibility for vaccine injuries. I was excited that this bill received a hearing relatively early in the session, but it actually has almost 80 co-authors on it, representing both political parties. HB 3441 has the votes to get out of committee, but it has been sitting in the committee for nearly a month. If we're going to have any hope of holding Big Pharma accountable for the harm inflicted on innocent Texans, HB 3441 needs to get out of committee and onto the House floor immediately. I was told by Chairman Leach that this bill will be voted out today. If that happens, it would be a great step toward giving Texans a major victory this session. Another important bill, SB 269 by Senator Charles Perry, would require physicians to report any and all vaccine injuries, no matter how minor, to the Federal Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System, also known as VAERS. This is the simplest way to educate the public and our public health agencies about the risks and side effects of vaccinations. But most healthcare providers do not utilize this system. HB 269 passed the Senate unanimously. It has finally been set for a hearing in public health. I hope the Texas House moves swiftly on this legislation. We are also needing to protect healthcare workers and medical students. The Senate has taken swift action to protect college students whose dream is to work in medical or veterinary care, as well as staff and contractors who perform work in hospitals and clinics. SB 407 has already been voted out of the Senate, and SB 2119 will soon pass out of that chamber. Each of these bills has a House companion, both which were referred to the Public Health Committee several weeks ago. And because there are already House bills, there's a strong chance that these bills can pass in both chambers and be on the governor's desk soon. But Chairman Gary Van Dever seems unwilling to act fast enough to make these protections for our frontline heroes a reality. We are also trying to prohibit discrimination in medical care. Multiple bills have been filed this session to protect vulnerable Texans from being denied medical care based solely on their vaccination status. The broadcast protections have been proposed by Representative Nate Schatzline with HB 1356, which would prohibit any healthcare provider from withholding any services from routine visits to life-saving care due to a patient exercising their vaccine choice rights. HB 4076, which is limited only to organ transplant patients, has received a hearing, but its impact would be far too narrow to be felt by most Texans. Informed consent. One of the fundamental tenets of medical care is informed consent, the understanding that patients have a basic human right to weigh the risks and benefits of any procedure medically, and to make medical decisions free of coercion or undue influence. SB 95 by Senator Bob Hall passed the Senate nearly a month ago and has been referred to the Public Health Committee, but has gone nowhere since. This bill would require physicians to provide full, written, informed consent to parents and guardians before administering any childhood vaccination. Shockingly, This is not already required in Texas statute and allows physicians to skip a crucial step in the provision of medical care. In closing, the state of Texas has long recognized that vaccine choice, medical privacy, and informed consent are basic rights worthy of protection, and Texans deserve to live in the freest state in the nation. But to achieve that, we need to close multiple loopholes in the state law that require nurses to get a jab or lose their job. It puts patients' lives at risk due to their personal vaccine decisions.